I think during Ramadan, especially as a queer Muslim, it kind of highlights how difficult it can be to find community and how hard it is to find a place in community. And I mean that in terms of like within the queer community and within the Muslim community, we're not really allowed to be queer in the Muslim community or Muslim in the queer community. So the kind of communities which we are not allowed to be a part of are really highlighted in this time of year, especially when there is so much kind of a social element to Ramadan and fasting and iftar and breaking your fast and doing namaz and praying. I often feel a bit isolated during this time because it is really hard to find community. I think that we don't often think about how hard it is for queer Muslims to find community. Like, we really have to work for it and look for it, and because it's not going to present itself to us. And I think that that's something that's really been apparent this year in particular, is how my queer friends have been asking me, is there anything we can do? And I think that this is something that allies can do for queer Muslims, and just make space for us and think about not take that for granted, that we know where to go, or we have someone to talk to about this, or we have someone to eat with, and things like that. If I could describe Ramadan in one word for me, it would probably be reflection. And I mean that in like a positive and a negative way. I think it's a really great time for me to reflect on my character and my relationship with myself, my relationship with food and drink and sex and anger. It's a time for me to reflect on my relationship with religion and faith and what it means to be a Muslim. I think it's essential to think about who's missing from the dialogues on being a queer Muslim, because without it, our Islam is not inclusive, our beliefs are not intersectional. We need to think about black Muslims, we need to think about Ahmadi Muslims, we need to think about women and trans feminine Muslims. They're all a part of our community, and the fact that they aren't here says that we need to keep working on safety and making everyone feel comfortable and included. I think that one of my fears is that it becomes a Muslim issue, but these things are not Muslim issues. These things are patriarchal issues. They're systemic systems of oppression. They are everywhere. You know, transphobia, transmisogyny, anti-blackness. We need to keep thinking about these in all spheres and all circles. Organisations like Hidayah, Iman, Inclusive Mosque Initiative, all holding space for queer Muslims around Ramadan and having queer iftars and things like that. And it doesn't matter what your gender identity or sexuality or even your Muslim identity, if you're not sure, if you're a different sect, or you're just kind of trying it out for the first time, everyone's welcome in those spaces. So please, I want you to know that you're not alone. We're here.